Yeah.
then you can be more optimistic about the future of Complexity. At least it's Major.
It's just that one gut-wrenching, rough day of 2 best-of-1s, and again, versus teams that now we have to have a different conversation about. If you come in and tell me before that, you know, losing to FlyQuest and Passion in your opening day doesn't feel that bad because of the success they go on to achieve versus other opposition, maybe Complexity finds solace in that. Maybe they recollect themselves, and like you said, you know, it's got to be a convincing victory to kind of really undo some of the wrong that Complexity have bestowed upon their believers.
It's definitely true that also, like, Passion could go on to prove they go very deep in this. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. They really go.
Sure.
Like, they've just got to be able to win it. But now that they've gone down 0-2, they're not deciding to take the risk. They're benching it for the moment, and we're going into Inferno.
Clearly, the beating they took in the opening day of this stage has caused Complexity to head elsewhere. But the series begins on Imperial's pick, as you alluded to, Inferno. And it is Banana where the fight kicks off. Now, that is Elish, top boxes for a single kill, not able to follow up as his teammate goes down with him, so a nice opening for Imperial. A 4v3 in a pistol. It's a tantalizing approach to a B bomb site, but it's also a site that still has defenders in it. 2 of them here on cross, JT included. But he starts to tuck back, right? They don't believe that that Banana presence really means the commitment, and that's the right call. Imperial's still sizing up both sides.
Sad part about this series is that as we casted it and the head-to-head and you know all the important games and Imperial slightly edging out a few of the wins, it just became Imperial winning every time, and then it wasn't really even a rivalry. But in this game, you got to think Complexity have a huge advantage, and they should win.
Complexity obviously taking, I think, a bit of a chunk out of themselves. Oh, hold on. Hold on. JT, open cross, open duels. 3 players stack up for it. Halzerk for the trade, 1v1. Oh, he's got a huge health advantage here over Try, who could take the top road over Oranges, but the bomb's still over towards Pit, so just hit him in the headshot, brother. Oh, he gets over. Halzerk, you could have killed him with a single bullet to any part of that body, but Try's now in the post plant. And so as time ticks, he peeks out. And of course, Halzerk, as he always should with so much health, finishes off the pistol.
Yes, he makes it happen. Now, actually, yeah, we didn't even get Inferno at all. This is a completely, like, brand new veto this time around. So last time, Complexity removed Inferno. Last time, Imperial removed Ancient. And, of course, last time, it was Complexity to win 2-1. In a very recent result, but it's one result where they actually don't play each other that often anymore.
I was going to say one of the more surprising results back at the RMR was MIBR getting a chunk of Complexity and besting them in a best-of-3. You know, for Imperial to do that as well would just add another question to the teams that are beating Cole as of late. We could talk about the fact it's just best-of-1s, but, you know, FlyQuest, who have now gone on to impress, obviously, so far, but still, shocker of a start, and Passion. It's the result of that Passion game that I think really kind of, with all those pistol rounds, man.
No shame losing to Passion.
No, but in some of the rounds specifically, I think that's where the shame really was.
All those Eagle kills.
Yeah.
But you know what?
What?
They've done it to Spirit. They did it to Spirit. They did it to Complexity. And now they're up 2 games in this stage 2. So.
My goodness. That's where Complexity wishes they were, but. You know, 2 best-of-1 losses in the back of your mind. It's a 24-hour period where things don't go your way. Do you believe in the Cole comeback throughout this, for this stage of the Major? Do you believe they could still get on?
I actually don't believe in Cole at all. I already said that. Remember, you watched my pick'em.
I did. All 3 minutes of it.
Yeah. I did a fast pick'em.
Hey.
Wasn't that refreshing?
Short and sweet.
Yeah. People try to, like, milk it, you know?
Maui.
I just showed every pick right away. So yeah, I don't believe in Cole in their current lineup. Obviously I put them through because I still believe they can get through the stage. The odds are against them, but there are teams they can beat here. I guess you can put it that way.
Oof, nice ones from Descenti. Now, he has been the beacon for Imperial, right? In the absence of tries off Descenti, bettering Phelps at the moment, and able to post a 4th kill in this round. You want an ace early?
Oh.
That's what it's going to take for Imperial to take pistol momentum from Complexity. Bare bones, single point of health, an ace on the line. Oh, and almost so close to a miraculous round to give Imperial an injection of energy early. Instead, Complexity, you may limp through. 2-0 their start.
Oh, man. If Descenti had a hard read on lane and he decided to walk the wide way around default, I think that's how he maximizes his HP. But you can see on 1 health, that wasn't going to happen. He was too scared to try that. That doesn't pull out the ace. It's still 4 kills, which is pretty good. But Complexity, they stay alive. They stay alive, and maybe they can stabilize. I mean, I think, I'm trying to remember which major this was, but Complexity got through the first stage either at this one or Rio, and then they got way better in Legends in the elimination stage. Which may have been the legend stage at the time.
Well, I remember their Copenhagen run, which was obviously the last major, was a bit special because they were one of the teams from the Americas RMR to skip the first stage. They came into the top 16. They went up 2-0 after their best of ones and then lost 3 consecutive best of 3s to miss out on playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
And Floppy even recently has said, like, he was the reason that they threw one of those rounds against Vitality, and that still to this day haunts him. He said that in an interview coming into this stage. So if that's on your mind, brother, don't be getting eliminated in Shanghai even faster than the last. This versus Pistols is no challenge. Complexity just running rampant for the 3-0 start. Imperial just kind of getting corralled up towards that A site, not even able to plan.
You can't change the past, you can change the future. Or
Hopefully.
maybe you can't change the future, but you can act now.
Right here, right now.
Floppy had a little bit of a rough first day as well, even here.
Well, I have a talking point that I think is going to be important throughout this series as it goes on. I'm just going to throw this out here. Elige has not had an impressive major since Star Ladder Berlin 2019.
Whoa, okay.
Nothing since. Nothing to talk about at majors.
We're just gonna do a live fact check so we can be
just
appropriately.
100%. I know I'm hitting you with the curveball, Mo.
That's crazy. You should be on the desk.
2 of his worst events in 2024, Copenhagen Major, and so far Shanghai. Gun round goes well for Imperial in the sense that they get a few of these kills across the map, but it's that pressure from Complexity out of apartments that still puts the man up. 2 individual moments here between Try and No Way, but it'll boil down to what timing they want to make a move with.
Wow.
Got a Liege inside of Pit.
Rio, Antwerp, Copenhagen, nothing above a 1.0. That's true. Stockholm was just around that. Yeah, it's
easy close.
It does make sense that it's 2019. That's when it's good, obviously. But yeah, he hasn't had the, because like in other games, you would say, all right, well, Complexity have struggled overall, so of course he's not going to be as good. But even throughout the year, he's a top 10 player.
Exactly.
Except for at the majors.
Which is why I use the word impressive major, because for Elige to impress you throughout the year is no question. We're still talking about a top 20 player.
Good numbers.
But it's impressive at majors, right? If you do combine both stages of the majors when they've played 2 stages, there is a couple majors where he gets like a 1.04 or a 1.06.
Yeah.
But again, that's not impressive if you're Elige.
Not compared to his numbers at big events throughout the year. Yeah.
So there is this weird, little curse for him specifically at the majors, and obviously that curse looks worse if you get eliminated 0-3.
Well, he also he didn't get his chip, even during the Liquid heyday. So he's won a Grand Slam, which is harder to do than a major, but the major itself, that's where it gets harder. That's where the pressure's the highest.
Yes, sir. Yep. Especially when, again, we're talking about him being like this quintessential win condition for Complexity. But at the moment, it's Grim who's the highest performing player after their struggles of yesterday. But I could sit here and talk all my smack about Elige. She's playing well out of the gate here, Launders. First gun round goes well for Complexity. And, as far as I'm concerned, I think Imperial could just be a bug on the windshield of their comeback in this opening stage of Shanghai.
Yeah, it would be a tragedy if they lost right now, but it's... even if they do win, it's still a long road. So, yeah, it's the first rung on a tall ladder. Let's see if they can start off with a good Inferno.
You know, the higher you get on the ladder, the harder the fall as well.
I know somebody that fell off a ladder and broke both their shoulders.
Oof. I own 4 ladders.
One for each arm and leg.
Yes, sir. Transformers, ladders in disguise. Little flash pop for Banana in a round where Imperial do have enough to win with. Don't you dare sleep on this buy. Mac 10 up first. Phelps and no way. In with the sidearm. Your B site has crumbled. Hulzerk will post up. Eesh, but he gets caught as No Way peeks in while the smoke plumes. And through the smoke comes the 8K shot to try. This one is a doozy.
What's happened now? Everybody dying, just trying to chill, hold their angles, throw grenades. Floppy's reading about it in the newspaper, hasn't seen a thing.
Floppy can't read.
That's why he just writes emojis.
That's true. I was disappointed in Floppy's autograph signature for this major.
Yeah, because he had the Among Us one.
He's always had little drawings, right? Like he's had the Among Us, he's had little faces.
But then the Among Us one, I guess he didn't draw himself, so that's
exactly.
Why. So what is it this time?
Just Floppy. Just perfectly round. You know what I mean?
I do like the name though. I do like Floppy.
Of course. But you know.
He did have one that was a floppy disk as well, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Which, if you ask me, isn't that hard to draw?
A floppy disk? Yeah.
You know?
But it does really speak to why Valve wanted you to draw it yourself.
Yeah. You know? I have high expectations for you, Floppy. Ricky. Nice round for Imperial. Very convincing. First one added to the board. Try immediately into the off, right? So I put him under a bit of a microscope. I said he didn't quite fill Henny's shoes. Time to prove otherwise.
That's why I said try on paper, because, yeah, he hasn't been as good as his 9Z days.
Yep. And meanwhile, you know, Henny is a player who I think on paper, you don't really feel his wrath. It's until you're in the server that essence of Henny can really be captured.
Yeah, he is truly a great player in the server. That's a fact.
So very, contrasting offers in that regard. Bad Molotov coming out from Imperial, so you're not making your case any better as those utilities dwindle on the approach to the A play.
And they go, yeah, we were never intending to go A. And they walk back. But the bomb going this way, it really comes down to if the CTs are going to bite here. Because at the moment, they might... No, the bomb's going back to A now.
Can Phelps get away from it? Grim just sitting on the half wall.
Nade's going to get set up, and the exec will come in. And there's a timing here where they need to check Banana. They need to. There's no one at car yet, so like...
Smoke down for Library. We hit 25 seconds. That pack of players out towards mid. No Way's not able to track the MP9 swing.
And they get spread to Boiler, and they have...
Trying to go through Arch instead. That's the bomb on Vinny. Where are you going, bud?
Hold on.
15 seconds. If he dies here, Vinny can still run that bomb to B.
Why wasn't that calmed?
And he just has to get the bomb out.
Why wasn't that calmed? Hulzerk was standing there running through Speedway. JT saw him jump into CT spawn.
We're going to get Grim trying to chase it, not able to stop the plant. Vinny's hands no longer busy, but you can just get on it. And Phelps is so far removed. Maybe in the replay, JT didn't see both.
He was shooting at him.
He killed the player that jumped through, but there was Vinny in front of it.
No. A player jumped through he was shooting at after he got the first kill.
Oh.
And then he didn't say anything. Or he said something and Hulzerk didn't care, but like, you see that?
Vinny slithered away.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he's shooting at it. Maybe he didn't.
Maybe he gets lost as they both jump through. A chaotic moment there on Arch nonetheless. I mean, just trying to slip. I mean, let's say Vinny does get called.
Yeah.
You got no chance, dude.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that is a very ambitious decision from Vinny to just try to push bomb through CT. Maybe if he gets away with a teammate, he's hoping that is kind of the condition that pulls that off.
It's possible JT to get any visual. Thought he hit him at least. But he seemed
smokes, jumping players.
Seemed to think someone was there.
Scary stuff.
Yeah. So 5-1 anyways here for Complexity. Imperial have to get creative as the round doesn't work out the way they want to. You know, they take a long time to go brackets. They have the option to go back to B. Complexity didn't really push anything, but they had car control the whole time, so they were in the better position for sure.
Hot boost. Oof, Halzerk doesn't even react to it. I think that was a little slow from Halzerk, Lunders.
Yeah, he was, you gotta be aware of that boost, for sure.
So, Opper down. Imperial gunning for the B side. Good flashbang. JT interrupting that approach to get man advantage taken back. And yet again, Imperial will say, you know, they've been kind of moving this party back and forth, trying to seize something towards brackets with at least the util pressure. Floppy peeling away from his initial position, but Complexity still keep their defense split 2-2.
Got a late smoke here for JT as he just takes the relay, starts to walk away for now. And JT has some important utility as well. A Molotov that he wants to be in a good position to drop for Grim, who he doesn't have a flash for. And there it goes down. They're gonna run through that.
They're working their way through slowly. Contact from backside. Wow. Nice timing out of Grim.
Not bad.
Continues to be the beacon of hope for Complexity's run in Shanghai. Goes up to 9 kills off that double. Op shot missed from Try. Can't afford those, but Descenti's trying to serve one back. However, Opper caught out in the open. Descenti peeling backwards, popped by Elige, who comes forward and climbs that scoreboard. We were talking yesterday about Complexity's struggles and the fact that nobody could really, you know, join the 2 stars.
Elige
Today,
and Grim.
Elige, Halzerk, and Grim. 3, the trio, moving up this scoreboard early days.
Except for that round, he's been pretty good. But Grim getting the 2K anchor holds, that was the one thing that was going well in their match on Anubis yesterday. There just wasn't enough additional support. But this guy on your screen, son of Richard, he's been doing very well. I think he's upgraded his gold chain as well.
Yeah, it's getting bigger. He's got a pendant on that bad boy.
Next up, a clock that spins.
Son of Richard, House of Lewis. Descenti charging through into Halzerk, who's not able to track it. Up in your face again. Highest rated player for Imperial despite their struggles, and he will continue to fight into this A play. Down at the bottom of middle, Phelps hangs on to the opposite side. Descenti, it's a trio, and a deep peek for the quad.
What is that? 4K. Pointing in all directions. Descenti to the dome 4 times straight. Halzerk could have stopped him right here. Had no idea he was running up. There was too many nades.
Excellent rifle work from Descenti. 4 headshots, 4 near instant kills.
What even strat was this?
That was
pure madness.
Descenti, go kill. And honestly, the rounds they've caught Complexity off have been these hyper-aggressive, in-your-face moments. Can't forget, man, Brother almost aced earlier.
Great flashes.
In the force buy, but Elige gonna flex the pressure, fights fire with fire, and Descenti down in a critical round as Elige had the only M4. Phelps looking to answer back as the 5-7 of Floppy pops shot through, and Phelps goes deep.
Second flash is excellent here.
Deep enough for the space to plant. Vinny shall not be stopped. Now you've posted, tries op on the new box. Now we saw him miss a critical shot in the post plant prior. Cannot afford those kinds of moments, and especially considering it was a lesser buy for Cole here in round 9. Smoke fades on Coffin, 3 sets of eyes peering that direction. Try turns attention back to Cross, and Vinny looking to lock it in along the wall. Floppy hits Try in the background, and now the T's, they don't have that anchor back behind them, so the retake 2v3 comes through.
Man, watching that, I was thinking, no way Floppy's gonna get both kills here because they're replacing players. They're all coming in on hard angles to fight their way out of, and Floppy does it with the FAMAS. The fuse comes in, Complexity win the round. That's a big pickup, and it starts off with this play here from Elige.
Phelps on the recovery mission. But how you have 2 players along that wall and Floppy gets this kill to try.
Yeah.
You know, that was a lot of space not being taken by Imperial on Coffin.
Some great stuff from Halzerk, Floppy, and Elige on that round.
Again, right, that's the trio. That's the win condition of Complexity. So they go up 7-2. That was a lesser buy. Elige, single M4. A FAMAS, MP9s. This round, though, no way. Seemingly looks for a route into A on his own, sectioned off from the rest of Imperial, who've just left bomb out alt and just gone for the triple mid stack. Now starting to add more forces through apartments. If somebody could offer pressure from Boiler, then No Way could have slipped out, but he's already shown his hand, and he's down now to a measly 40 health. Floppy's forced off of his roost, but the offer, and Halzerk's able to hold that line. There is an approach still from the T's, but Descenti's back, given to Elige. And it's an easy pickup for Complexity as the CT side's now gunning for double digits.
Oh, they needed his smoke from CT side. Elige wanted to take a peek, saw the glimpse of an opper. Bomb will get secured, but that setup on A, man, it looked like there was enough chaos from Imperial, but there were 4 players from Complexity there. They had Porsche. They were watching it from, they were watching halls from Archway. They had a player on Arch itself, so they were ready to stop that. Every lurk shut down. No rotations, though, coming over towards the B site. So for the moment, it's 3v2. The Speedway flash is key, man, and it's a little late.
Big plant. Oh,
okay.
Gets Elige with the fadeaway double up. Now taking to the top of the scoreboard.
That was a little bit crazy. Planting the bomb, then running into the site through the smoke.
I mean, it got the reaction you wanted in the sense that Elige starts this spray, but you're talking about Elige. So of course he's going to control the spray when you try to walk out through the smoke.
Fair enough. They could have had him spraying at the wrong guy. But it was Elige diff.
As if he's not accurate 10 bullets deep.
Yeah. And there was someone quad too, right?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, Grim was backside.
They had that covered. It's been an interesting day. We saw FlyQuest damn near 3-0 into damn near get 13-0 on their last map.
True.
Rare Atom, where are they at?
Rare Atom currently winning over Fnatic.
Yeah, they were winning, but
no.
What's the score?
They have won.
They won! I promised a Rare Atom win, baby.
13-4 over Fnatic.
I promised a Rare Atom win.
Launders, the world might revolve around you.
I promised a Rare Atom win.
Fnatic 0-3.
Oh my God.
To be joined by either Complexity or, at the moment, seemingly Imperial. This T-side has not taken off as they would have hoped. If not for the heroics of Descenti, there's not even 2 rounds to talk about. So, the first team eliminated from the Major is official.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. It's actually kind of sad.
Yeah.
But also, Rare Atom could have been eliminated.
Yep.
No one would have been sad about that. Now would they have?
I think the first Chinese Major deserves a local team win.
That's right.
Thank you, Fnatic, for your sacrifice. Enjoy the flight home.
Rare Atom could have walked.
Elige rotating over to the B site here preemptively, and I think at this point Complexity very much slotting into their groove on this defensive half. There's no stress for Cole early on in this series. There's no frustration from Cole early on in this series because they got away with those close rounds, right? The near ace from Descenti, the force buy that could have been for Imperial. Those are those moments that can sometimes take Complexity off kilter, and they didn't happen. So what happens when Complexity are allowed to slot in? 8-2 with a 9th on the horizon. triple B stack in the face of all of Imperial. They do push through that CT smoke, and out comes Elige to his death. Nothing going well here for the North Americans in the face of Imperial's round 11 full-blown execution.
So that was quite nice. The explode right there. They covered everything. As you can see, everyone was full committed from Complexity on the site. Not a single kill here. And the entry, sometimes they do it well. So gives Imperial some credit, but the problem is for them, the half is nearly over. T-side Inferno should yield a lot more than 3 rounds. At least they'll have a chance for 4. I would say Vinny has shown that he's like obviously very good at calling, but with this lineup, the calling hasn't been that great with this specific, you know, team behind him for whatever reason. It seems like this is a roster where back in the day when he played on Immortals, Zach had to stand behind him to calm for him when coaches were allowed to talk the whole time, because when he was scoped in, he was like incapable of singing and dancing, basically.
Well, do you think maybe that he was just doing his own thing and operating on his own, and that was maybe kind of Vinny not having to micromanage him, and still Henny being able to pull off moments?
I think definitely, like we said earlier, Henny's just a great player, so like he's so impactful. We know that. Every team that he's played on, he's improved. So yeah, it's always been sort of a mystery why like every roster has got rid of him. Sometimes it seems like it's half of his own volition, half of other reasons, or like, I want to play with my twin or something like that.
It's because you don't have to calm to your twin. It's all telepathic.
True, that's why he doesn't talk.
He's grown up his whole life being able to communicate non-verbally.
Yeah.
It's not his fault.
He's non-verbal.
Last round of the half here, folks. And Halzerk wants in on the action, opening 5v4 to Cole. Nice little off-peak deep in. I do think it has to be said, though, Mo, of, you know, maybe the calls previously with other rosters and Vinny slotting in as a good IGL in that regards. He is, as from the Americas regions, one of the least performing in-game leaders in the game. I think that is really something that has kind of held him back. He's felt the wrath of the leadership, statistically speaking. Oh, boys, don't push through that. Ooh, you've got a lot of pressure ready to be applied on the response. Imperial, yeah, they decide not to. They'll try to reset themselves, but now they're working with just 2 smokes, Molotov, couple flashes. It's enough for an exec.
Yeah, also.
And honestly, their B exec last round was good.
It was.
Do they have one like that for A?
No, it's a good point. And there's even the world where they go back to B. There's no one pushed. They're just sort of watching their flank, but they're fully intent on going A again, which only gets harder. 4 players down, low on utility. And no moto smoke? Ugh, good luck with this.
Still
oh, no, it's still up, so we'll see how long that lasts.
JT peeling back. Okay, what could have been? Phelps emerging, half health taken off him. Pressure applied now to the back end of the CTs once that moto smoke expires. And he's coming through it. Phelps is pushing through. And as he does, he clears the site. Elige pinch between Phelps and Decenti. Bomb plant guaranteed. Just in the nick of time. Good shot from Halzerk. Clears the bomb planter and leaves this one on Phelps. 52 HP in a 1v2 reveals his position. Both CTs now trained in on him. Halzerk trying to push out, and Grimm's got him covered.
Go.
It is a stellar 9-round CT side for Cole.
Cinema. Great round, great half here from Cole. Even though that A attack actually shaped up towards the end, Grimm has been so reliable right now. When you spectate him, he's getting into a hard fight. You really feel like he's going to win it every time. And again, they start off 0-2 down in the stage, but it's not because of Grimm. He's actually on form. So good to see that he's also playing well when they're winning at the moment here for Imperial, who unfortunately definitely should have got a higher yield here on Inferno T side. They'll have a chance to bring this back as we switch over. And if it has been sort of a calling problem, maybe they get a move playing defense.
Ooh.
Also, like you pointed out, weren't having a lot of highlight moments for Halzerk, like in that Anubis game, for example. Here we've already said his name way more.
Yes. true indeed. First pistol, of course, in Complexity's back pocket. A T-side pistol would basically put them over the line. And just to confirm, Grimm's new chain launders is the one sold at the Perfect World merchandise store.
The merchandise store?
The merchandise store. Read all about it. Come get your gold chains. Read all about it.
Wait,
gold reaching new highs.
They got merchandise on sale? Vinny?
Come on down to the Perfect World official store. Everything's 45% off.
Bring your CNY.
Complexity. Keep it together. Little shoulder spotted for a leash.
Do they have any giveaways?
Of course, giveaways every day. Right down here at the Perfect World merchandise store.
James Boinks.
Oh, Phelps. Dirty. And that's what Imperial need, a dirty little pistol added to the board.
It's B, though. It's B the whole time.
Yeah, they do slip through. Bomb is in tow. Third player coming up. Hulzerk's got another smoke, of course, so that'll keep CT blocked off. If you put it down at the right time, it could be super valuable. But if he goes and dies on Banana, now they don't have that smoke. So the rest of this team ready to go. 2v5 demanded of Complexity. It ain't gonna happen, Chief. Decenti with a couple of kills to close it out. Still at the top of the board, of course, for Imperial. These teams split pistols.
That's good to see. That's good to see. For the best game possible, you know, even though Imperial have changed a lot, it would be wrong if this matchup wasn't close. Wow. Some very strong shots from Phelps this round. With the defensive one there on Banana is not easy.
Oi, careful now. Dangerous game, try. Dangerous. You know the buy's out there now. Galil rattles off a few bullets, and there's 3 of them on the field, so we saw how incredibly close Imperial came to winning their round 2 T-side force buy. Almost Decenti acing to pull that one off. Complexity going to try their damnedest to throw a wrench in the works as well. And in contrast to the pistol, far less brackets control for Imperial. Just leaning back instead towards sight.
Yeah, it's a quick check. I mean, they're in a good position to stop a Hull's like lane split, but they are playing very far back. So that's the advantage here for the T's, low rotations. Oh, wow. That one could be huge. Hey, that's very good for the A defense. There's still 3 players coming at them, though.
Yeah, and the moto push already happens from Decenti, so 2 M4s here in the mix towards short hold. Hulzerk's Deagle, JT's tech.
Oh, they got to get better guns, get that bomb down, get into a post plant.
They snag the M4 halfway through this 2 versus 4 to upset after the pistol win of Imperial, to really gut punch the Brazilians on their map pick. Phelps caught out in the open, but able to get into the cover. Oh, Hulzerk, as the bullets dwindle, still connects. And Vinny, in between the 2, silently approaches. Needs to figure out where they're at, but Hulzerk on the pillar, found out. First kill's good. Vinny thinking he's inside sight, doesn't turn. He hits the dink, but not enough. Woo. Complexity robbed the round away.
With the ball planted where it was, I think he was lucky to even get that chance. Not even checking pit right there. Complexity pick up 10 off this. It's no way, you know, finds an opportunity to get a kill, fall back in a pit. Teammate gets a trade, but as brought up earlier, because you have Imperial playing so far back on what is an anti-force buy, it's 3v2 pure. There's no 4th player in Speedway. There's no 4th player stacking up bracket to help them stop it. They need to get a 3v5 advantageous trade. 2 for 1 every step of the way. They can't do that.
Those are the sorts of rounds that were going against Complexity in their opening best of ones yesterday. They pull off a pistol 2v4. feast. So it seems, but we get a double deagle kill? Is that one shot?
One shot, two heads.
Pop like melons. Try finds one with the 5-7. Bomb is scooped by Elige, and Floppy's gonna carve a route into the A site in the meantime, but it is a fast move from Imperial. Did Vinny just do the unthinkable? 6 kills, 2 of them with 1 bullet. Elige gets into sight, no contest offered up yet for Imperial. Moto players shouldn't push through on such little health alone.
Got an ultra safe plant. Floppy knows that now it's his time to shine. He's a pit player in a post plant in the 2v3. They don't want to let this one go.
No Way survives the frag grenade on 7 health to spare.
It's crazy that Elige is just floating out here.
All on Floppy. He's gonna have to post it. The 1v3 demanded of him. Bomb planted backside, tries to get away from the grave kill, does get the headshot, and Floppy just thriving inside of the pit in the post plant. Oh, 3 for Ricky Kamari, and that is Complexity's 11.
Yeah, that was his moment right there. Floppy needed to bring that to his team. Elige chose to play that in an incredibly aggressive way because he thought he could get the Hall's kill, maybe fall back to the site after. And it definitely gets a little scary after these pistoling kills.
3 deagle frags and a 5-7 find. Not enough to stop Floppy.
This last peek is actually mint. Oh. Lined that up beautifully. Day saved.
Trying his best not to smirk. Knows he's just offered up an easy close to Complexity, seemingly. We see the force buy come back out from Imperial again. Safe to say at this point, Mo, have not been in control of this game once.
No, they haven't shown us that there's going to be an upset today, so that's what we're looking for.
The Rare Atom Fnatic elimination match went back and forth. Momentum for Rare Atom at the start of the opening map, despite losing Ancient, etc. We're not getting that kind of game. This is Complexity showing they had an off day yesterday. They lost to 2 teams who are overperforming to expectations in both FlyQuest and Passion. And Imperial, who were blessed with a bit of a route through the RMR, a ticket to Shanghai's Major, are not seizing the day after their opening losses in the same way. Trying to hang on for dear life on their map pick of Inferno, with a fresh map chosen by Complexity up next. Ancient, not Anubis.
Free B for JT. So we're just over the minute mark. Complexity can do no wrong at the moment. They've also got the right idea here. It's the allure of Vinny on Banana. They're thinking, let's test him.
Nobody to help him. Nothing he can do other than pop off with the 5-7, but the MAC-10 up close. It's going to get traded instantly, and Floppy's the insurance policy to cut off the rotates. Hears them thundering towards him. Last player up in the apartments. He seems to have his head on a swivel, and now it's splattered on the boiler walls. Nonetheless, Complexity planting at this B site. And it feels like that ribbon is being tied on this first map.
Can pick this AK up and think. But, yeah, might be death's doorstep here for Imperial. Best round they had was Descenti running through a molly on Arch and getting 4 kills.
Yes, sir. Second best round was Descenti almost pulling off the ace.
And it's always been like those explosive fast rounds. There hasn't been, you know, too many thought-provoking rounds.
Yes.
Too much CS poetry in the calls.
And it's about more of the same of what we've seen so far from Imperial, the limited of what we've seen. Oh, and his gun gets swept away too.
Wow.
You know, Descenti is the one player who's playing better in Shanghai than he did in Copenhagen, when this Imperial team with Henny instead of Try kind of, you know, thrust themselves towards the top of the Brazilian conversation. Try's off dominance has not been comparable to that of Henny. Phelps has faltered slightly after his good showing in Copenhagen. And so this new version of Imperial simply not as good. That's the brutal reality.
Yeah,
it is not as good.
Yeah.
And it's a tough thing to say, but
yeah, it's definitely it's a chemistry problem because they've got pieces that make sense. It's sometimes it doesn't click, and sometimes, again, like talk about Henny's impact, sometimes you can't just replicate really high impact players just like that. Always a mystery with Henny, man.
That's what makes him so fun.
Yeah.
Didn't have to really carry the torch throughout the opening bout of this match, but Floppy has had a couple moments here to throw his hat in the ring and collect some kills, and now we're really getting that like fully fleshed out complexity where the op of Halzerk and the 3 rifles are all coming together to set up a clean win. And a convincing victory may be enough to get the complexity believers back in line in terms of being able to progress to the next stage of the major. But we'll have this conversation map by map because Ancient is still a question. The legacy of complexity throughout many versions of Counter-Strike, kind of the beating heart of NA. You love to believe, and some days you struggle to believe just as much. Good flash for the banana peak, but it's only one player who goes in for it. Complexity gonna have to close 4v5, and well, this pack sets their sights on A. No way in pit with an MP9, not where I would want to be.
They gonna clear it?
No, he will find the attempted plant. Floppy, though, still finds a way through, and Halzerk will punch in the digits. It's a retake needed of Imperial. It's more needed from Imperial all Inferno long. They will try to group themselves up and attempt this 3-player push towards short, where Floppy will once more be a key piece of a pit hold. The least dying member of Complexity throughout this opening map of the series. Still, they have gotten dangerously close to sight, and that could end up catching Complexity off guard, but the shots are all clean.
Easy.
And this one is cleanliness from Complexity.
Wow. I mean, it's great because it's so much better than the other day. Unfortunately for Imperial, it isn't. It isn't better than yesterday. O2 teams going at it obviously is going to be brutal no matter what. I think the expectations are higher for Complexity in this situation.
Right, to get into the elimination stage is what Complexity need to establish, because they were one best of 3, if not one map, away from playoffs at the previous major. So Complexity can't afford to continue to go downhill. I'm telling you, Elige will not allow it. Complexity, it feels like this longest standing roster status is on the line here in Shanghai. Map 2 comes live. Imperial having to prove that they deserve to be playing at this level of competition, a stark contrast to their celebrations in Copenhagen thus far in Asia. Elige will open up. Double kill is his, and the 3rd CT already spotted on the boxes has not been able to escape. You'd think they would have been able to zone in on him, but instead they just want the B plant, and they will go right in for it. No way he's able to climb up. Grim's lurk spotted soon enough. But he's got the pinch in with Floppy, and it's a pistol success story for Complexity yet again.
Yeah, these boys getting shot from everywhere. Now, right now, like, Anubis isn't perfect, obviously, for Complexity either, but they did take down Mouse, for what it's worth, at Pro League. That's a very good team to take down on Ancient if you're going to win one game, so at least we've got that. The other interesting part about this is that they want to play Ancient, so they probably prepped it specifically for the major just to get it in the right condition. And this is a reciprocate if you were Imperial coming into the series, so we don't know how much prep they got in it.
Be a nice statement for Complexity to prove that their Ancient has something to offer as the major goes on. You know, we know what they can do on Vertigo. We know what they think they can do or hope to achieve on Anubis, despite 2 very difficult losses yesterday, including a complete and total swamp versus FlyQuest. So, you know, put Anubis back on put it on the back burner, let it simmer, come back to it perhaps versus lesser opposition.
I want
Complexity
my baby
having to dig into
baby
ancient
back.
ribs.
I want my baby back, baby back, baby back.
Ribs. Why are we singing that?
Michael Scott, you back burner.
Oh, okay. Just because I said the word back.
That's what he does, right? Random word association.
Sure. That's what she said.
Just love my sweet baby rays.
JT ending Inferno with the most ADR, despite having 8 kills. You know, maybe we should give him the MVP.
By the way, on like the Valve scoreboard now, like when you play Premier games, does it just count your, is it your damage that matters more in terms of your, like how high you are up on the...
Yes.
It is, right?
Yeah, it's your damage.
Yeah. So JT.
Earning Valve points.
Earning Valve points. He's playing CS the correct way. That's what we learned.
Give him the global.
You know, that's not fair to oppers, but why should we be fair to oppers? Oppers.
Abusers. No pistol flick there for JT. He will fall. And the guns come out here for Imperial. So much like Inferno, we're kind of holding our breath for Imperial, waiting to be impressed. Impress me. Entertain me. Do something as we poke them with a stick. Just do something. Because you obviously set expectations so high after Copenhagen. It was the best performance for Brazil as a region, as a country, and the Americas region in some time, earning us more spots than so many years past. And now they may be faltering alongside Fnatic 03. This A site is completely under wraps. Hulzerk is peeking through Molotovs.
He's standing in the fire.
Look at the damage, though. I mean, Grim's a single point of health. Floppy's on 10. Could that have gone?
Yeah, it could have been 2 players sprayed down with 1 mag.
Oh, and JT's just anchoring the back line over towards the B site, so there is nothing here for Imperial to be happy about. You walk away at the moment with 0 kills, despite so many of those fights being close.
And that's why damage doesn't matter. Sad for Imperial, though. This is why kills are king, because look at them. He nearly knocks 2 down, but even because he doesn't, they end up having to try to save. They run into all these players. It would have been Complexity running over towards the A site to support that attack. They got the 2-for-1 trade. Complexity are frying now. They don't even care about this smoke.
Absolutely in their lane. Thriving. Moisturized.
Unbothered.
And ready to sweep Imperial. That's the game plan. Right now, Imperial trying to find footing anywhere they can. They are slipping down the rocky mountainside like a goat that has lost its footing.
Deep.
Head over heels.
Death Stranding style.
Poor try. Just runs into the street and gets slammed by
It was just so quiet. It was like, it was just a Fall Guys moment.
Trips over his own 2 feet. And this B site absolutely under wraps. So Imperial so far giving us, unfortunately, nothing to really write home about. But it was just pistols.
Clapped.
There is still a little room to do damage at the very least. Vinny's going to be found pushing smoke as the nade was destined for him. Can Phelps bring anybody else down with him?
No.
No. Liege is absolutely laser beaming at the moment.
Actually all just hitting everything right.
Which is what I at least am excited to talk about. The resurgence of Liege in Shanghai.
Oh, wow.
Lackluster day 1 of the opening stage. They had the benefit of the doubt back in Copenhagen when they were able to skip the first opening stage, instead starting at the elimination as being the top-rated America's team. He does not impress us at majors. That's the headline. And yet today, he has given us something to talk about positively.
You know, back in 2019 and earlier, it was a lot because of Astralis. They they were the boogeyman. No matter who, you know, whether it was Simple, whether it was Liquid, you know, they were, whether it was Ents, you know, they were just a terror. No matter what, your major run would end if Astralis were basically present at your tournament. They would just ruin everything, and that was the hardest part for Liquid and Elige. Coming into Berlin, even that was his best team, his best chance at that time,
and his best major. Bottom mid control for the CTs. No way. Good opening. Swings for number 2. And it's a good amount of frags coming out for Imperial. They win the fight in mid. But they open a door on B site instead. Floppy getting the kill as Grim scoops up bombs.
And he knew Phelps was going to do it. And look what happened to the map now. Floppy can take backlines. He's got a lot of health. Grim smoking out this position is fine. They have the bomb planted in a versatile spot.
We saw 2v4s posted back on Inferno by Complexity, and this could very well be another one.
I think this setup for the players that are coming in is pretty solid.
I think it's red, though. That's the thing. Floppy peek deep lane. Grim took a glance into the cave, so they are prepared for this ramp commitment. And as Try gets up, Grim, who had tucked himself in,
perfectly,
does indeed pull this off. Complexity not afraid to gather a little info in that post plan, right?
And also Phelps just came through the B smoke as the only player there because what? He wanted to kill. That was pretty silly. He was the only player holding the site, and as soon as Floppy got that frag,
good highlight.
He knew it was open. So that's the round, right? That's the round right there because Phelps makes that mistake.
He opens the door for the 2v4, and Grim and Floppy will happily just barge through it.
Like, Floppy's playing it like he's in the 4v2. He's sitting behind a smoke waiting for a mistake.
Right.
How is he so confident it's going to happen? It's a silly moment here for Imperial. Looking to stay alive at this event.
Oh, no way, gets caught out by Grim, already extending through middle. Look at the pace here from Elige, already up in red room, but red by Descenti. You're not gonna get away with that one.
Yeah, that was nice. At least get that HE damage, but Descenti knew what he was gonna get in return.
Tough job. Vinny, MP9, has to forego any donut control and task Try with holding that opening instead. We've got this late lurk still set up by JT towards B. We'll come back to that if it ends up being important. At the moment, it's just this tempered aggression and a little patience. As Halzerk doesn't like being caught out in the open, Vinny will win the duel over towards main. And now these donut players, they can bank back on the fact that JT waited B. He's been here the whole time, and if he wins this fight versus Phelps, who opened the door to the 2v4 last round, well, things could have gone well for Cole. Instead, Phelps holds it off, smokes it off, and calls for the rotation of Imperial. It's much better play from Phelps this time.
Definitely. It's still possible to take the site. If Phelps is going to push through, he's got a small timing, but if they both turn this corner now,
oh my God.
Did he see him?
He didn't see them, but he hears them.
Okay, there we go.
Halzerk rattles off the op shot. Phelps is going to keep the flank going, and it doesn't look like anybody's looking. Tease, fall victim to the flank. Halzerk's able to get around the corner, but he's so swarmed at the moment that he's doomed. And Phelps making up, perhaps, for the 1 round prior.
Yeah. Luckily, no one was holding his smoke again, as he pushed through cave. But they'll very much take this round off of his frags.
I will say this time, though, at least when he pushed through the smoke, there was already other CTs sprinting to the bomb site. When he pushed that smoke on ramp, now 2 rounds ago, like, nobody's in position to save it.
That's an important difference.
So
you can have a man advantage, but if there's none on your site, then it doesn't really exist. Okay.
It's a good early round for Imperial. It's something. But they are still hanging on for dear life. Close on the smoke in mid. Descenti, no double kill. Elige gets his revenge from the round ago. We've got 3 bodies early in B for Imperial.
Oh, that's an amazing nade, actually. And a little spam, I think, as well. 2 players down to half on the B site.
They have had no eyes on middle this entire round.
They know what's going on, man.
There's been no resistance from Imperial offered up, right? That early B stack maybe figured out. Try's gonna come sprinting out with an off, missed the shot, Elige and JT into the bomb site, and the defenders that were there are no more.
You know, if Try was there 1 second earlier, that's a beautiful play, but how does Complexity move that quickly, right? That's amazing to see. That's like really good decision making. That's being on the same page. That's a bit of what Passion UA did to them.
Do you think it had anything to do with how little mid-presence Imperial had this round?
They did get their one trade with Elige.
Yep.
Knew that they were out of mid. Yeah, I guess they knew off of that Donut was clean, so...
Still has to be a good call. JT's got to be convinced it's the right thing to do. But maybe that's what set it all up.
Yeah, they did earn the information. But easy decisions become difficult when you doubt yourself, and that's what they didn't do this round. So if that's how you're going to get the best out of Complexity, then keep going with that. This is a little awkward with Halzerk in the smoke, but he knew he was going to walk out with Elige right beside him. So I think in his mind it was a guaranteed position. So we got the 4-team stage setup.
2 stages.
Very big room.
8 booths.
8 booths.
4 booths per stage.
Amazing.
5 players per booth.
Numbers.
And yet only one dream.
One dream.
Shared by every member of this competition to hoist a major trophy.
Man. And make history.
That which brings us all together. An Imperial, unfortunately, on death's doorstep in Shanghai. Down by 5. Halzerk out middle, hunting his opening. Does indeed hit Try, who's able to answer back.
Try was watching for the heaven jump up. Had no idea that someone was going to walk out mid.
He's lucky to have survived that pressure.
Maybe he was watching the railing. I'm not sure, but he was looking up, right?
Yes, yes, I agree. I think it was the railing hold. But he survives an op shot. A little more damage after the fact, and holds back Elige. His first kill of map 2. In, unfortunately, another underwhelming major performance from Try. The lights are always brighter when the major rolls around. And some crumble. JT will peel no way, off site. There was 3 defenders here and no trade yet, so JT gets another dry duel. He's going to assume that there was only 2, and that's what ends up costing him.
Try can stop this. He's got the skewer position.
But he's only got 8 health, and Krim able to get out on A because the 2 A main players are ready to go. Lauders, that is all JT getting up into the B bomb site, peeling a couple players off.
Yeah.
No trade for Imperial off his original duel, and JT just rips 2 heads off. Floppy, however, does die. Vinny reopens the door at the possibility of the retake.
Plus, Smoke and Molly here for the CTs.
It's pretty good. It'll block off all this donut control.
How's that Smoke, though?
I don't know. It's going to at least let him out, but it's not really going to cover the bomb site.
Yeah, that's kind of silly.
The bomb itself will be exposed to the left side of the donut peak for sure. I mean, it just allowed Vinny to get out. That's all he wanted. They're thinking about the CT wraparound, but you give Grim the duel, and you give Complexity this 7th round.
Yeah, that's the best they could do because they didn't have a way to smoke off the bomb. I mean, they were better off trying to clear out Donut as he swung out before using that smoke. But I guess, you know, Vinny just believed he was going to get off. Very awkward. But the smoke is something that's pivotal, ends up being something that looks kind of silly.
A bit disjointed for my liking so far, Imperial.
7-1.
Not being able to step up their level of competition so far in Shanghai. Looking like the same team that goes 0-2 one day ago. Mere rounds away from going 0-2 in this critical best of 3.
Looks like that day's coming quickly.
Holzerk at the point. Cautious of a CT close. It's the double forward cave setup. Still this 3-player on B defense for Imperial. Holzerk, into smoke. Gets wrecked by Vinny.
Wait, another swing, but
Bottom mid-peak deep from Descenti, and it's disjointed again.
Yeah, they were watching for that.
And JT, so clean.
He's a mercenary out here by himself.
The most damage back on Inferno. To now tying for the most amount of kills on Ancient. He will get cleaned off of the ramp as there is a bit of a resurgence in separate duels from Imperial. Vinny is going to continue to hold, doing what he can to hold back Elige, who just bounces into this bomb site. Try hot on his heels. 70 health to the Opper, who holds the angle, posts himself a second kill in round number 9, and at the very least will give Imperial a second.
He just holds that. There's another moment from JT where he gets a little overzealous with his first kill, thinks the site's open once again. They could have waited a little bit longer, but at the same time, Imperial inside of middle aren't aware of, the elbow players being ready for a swing. They thought that this would be an easy trade to get back after the first player goes down from cave. A third timeout is going to be used from Imperial here on CT side, all of them getting burned. That's not something you see very often.
At this point, man, the guillotine is primed above them. They can feel it. Like we said, tumbling down the mountainside. Terminal velocity nearly achieved. Vinny ends up being a key piece of this round, though, holding back the temple push. Right here. Dealing with a couple players as he attempted to hang on to the bomb site on his own, and a little shadow advantage for try to snap over. Trying to keep it composed here as a dire reality sinks in. Imperial just going to try to push the donut smoke off the flash. It's good. Try sets him up. No answer. Beautiful 3 kills out of Imperial, setting an early tempo.
I mean, the flash timing's wonderful. The swing timing's wonderful. Instantly 2v5 situation.
Yeah, a ferocious pace out for Imperial. A bit of a message here for their 3rd round win.
Now we're talking Imperial. Some great rounds. That one only took about 30 seconds.
That flash at a try, baby. Worth its weight in gold. Woo, Vinny. I put his fragging under question.
Ancient. And Cine.
What are you doing? You casting spells over there?
I'm trying.
Are you muttering incantations?
Yes. I was trying to figure out how Vinny fits into Ancient, because you have Inferno.
We didn't get Inferno.
No, we didn't get Inferno. But
how sad was that?
Inferno's rare, anyways. It's just once in a while. 35 kills,
Well, it would have been valuable to pull it out today, I tell you.
Yeah.
Facing elimination. Vinny with 116 ADR.
It's a lot of...
Wowza. Trying to be the beacon of hope here for an Imperial that, again, is on the chopping block. Vinny comes into this match as a bottom 5 rated player in the opening stage of Shanghai Major.
Yeah, you just said he can't frag, Connor, actually.
I did indeed, Launders. I did indeed.
Oh. Things change.
Or rather that he doesn't frag often. Unfortunately, his LAN event stats in 2024 don't do him very well.
Oh,
in no way. Caught with the smoke out. At least the smoke goes down. silver linings. They're going to drop a nade, and it tries going to start hitting shots, but he's under pressure from both ends, and that miss is a disaster.
Yeah, critical miss.
It's an end for him as Floppy pushes the pistol into the play. Descenti going to try to keep that electricity in sight alive. He is working with Vinny right next to him. As the smoke is up to the left side, it is only through short that they can make that contact, but neither able to stop bomb. Floppy pushes along the bricks. And that is softened tease on the other side of this retake attempt for Imperial, trying to string together rounds at the end of the CT side, pushing up into Floppy's, their demise, and it's Complexity with 8 at least.
That's this team right now, man. These hard, flat angles, they know the fight's coming. Imperial could have won those duels, but Complexity are shooting harder. Some very strong entries, and yeah, Try put himself in a good position to multi. He did do the right thing in terms of making up for No Way's mistake here, looking for a way to get this duel, but Grim gets that frag, and that makes it way harder for him to navigate the site. And as soon as he misses Floppy, Floppy makes him pay. If Floppy took any longer, he might have gotten a 1 frag inside of Cave.
Oh, nice boost. It gets a kill as well. Descenti thrown up onto the ledge with a triple CT setup in mid. However, those 3 players in middle, suddenly this could just be Complexity transitioning into a full-blown B ramp mid.
Yeah, the rotation's awkward.
It's exactly what's going to happen. Phelps has to deliver, and JT, yet again, as he has been, continuing to collect kills inside of the site, but the offer moves in time. And they're doing this. Imperial fighting tooth and nail to at least establish a 4-round CT side.
What a brawl that was, that half, 8-4. And at least Imperial get around at the end. That was a good-looking one as well. We had Vinny with an excellent performance so far on Ancient, for what it's worth, in their 4 rounds. And now we'll go to the second half. No timeouts left for Imperial. We'll find out if they've got enough grit. And they can still piggyback off this halftime. They can piggyback off of the Complexity pauses left over. And see if there's enough juice left in the squeeze.
JT was an absolute nuisance, I feel like, throughout this half on the B site. You know, when Phelps is kind of the beacon of hope that has been for Imperial so far in Shanghai, dude, brother got countered by a South African IGL. JT up in their grills. And Complexity take to the CT side of their map pick to try and close out this best of 3 with conviction. So much conviction, in fact, that you may, just maybe, get roped into believing in Complexity's chances yet again.
Yeah, it's definitely working on me a bit.
Little bit,
yeah,
huh?
it is working on me a bit.
It's hard not to believe.
I mean, winning is one thing, but winning like this.
However, they leave this B site absolutely primed for the taking. JT to get a bit of a taste of his own medicine. Solo B defense, and he will find nothing. Deep control coming forward for Imperial here. The understaffed B site doesn't go too well. Grim's gonna go for the flank though, all the way through T-spawn.
That works.
These Berettas ready to rip. And a little pause in the action allows for the T's to come back into the temple, making contact here with Hulzerk. Floppy now having a door reopened for him. But now that door has closed, and he was so little health, it is all a rope-a-dope. Complexity baited into thinking they'd have a chance as Imperial will split pistols.
What is a rope-a-dope?
No idea, I just said it.
It sounds like a Trailer Park Boys term.
I think a rope-a-dope is when, in boxing, a fighter leans on the ropes to kind of get you to be a little aggressive. You know, you try to swing at him, you feel like you got him on the ropes, but he's giving you the rope-a-dope.
You guys got to see Connor right now.
I'm rope-a-doping and Complexity hoping. Ooh, they let Elige get up into A main. They let that smoke in mid bolster some forward presence. Complexity, they absolutely took the momentum away from Imperial when they split pistols back on map 1.
Yeah.
The Force in the round 2 absolutely shattered Imperial's hope of making a comeback on Inferno. Will the same be said here for Ancients? Time to find out.
Time to find out if Imperial are nervous. As a round like this can go wrong if you take too much time. And you leave too many players on lurks, they've all got to get kills. And if they don't, and you lose the extremities, and you come out the middle, you start running, then there's always a chance that you lose to an eco.
It's got to be the CT lane push. It's a lot of damage for Floppy. No way.
Wow, what a kill.
However, so much early damage done, right? Elige,
they're not planning.
Stiff breeze would blow him off the round, but he does still get more damage. No way here's to make the difference.
Is Hauser going to sneak through this?
He's going to creep right in. 10 health over for No Way. It could be another round 2 forced by win, and it is! Hauser putting nails in this coffin.
Oh man, that floppy kill with the MP9. Ay, 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 ay. I mean, No Way got one back through the smoke. I think Floppy's was a bit more unlikely. That sucks for Imperial, but that's also because they played a 1-3-1, and both their extremity players got a kill between them. You're gonna have an AK in the spot, they can't just get one kill. Same thing for this guy.
Vinny trying to kind of keep that tempo up, but it's really Floppy who cleans up house. And that's another instance of those kinds of moments only going the way of Complexity in this series.
Yeah, usually that's what happens to Complexity.
Yesterday, it did. It's going to be the exec over top of the A site. Better weapons this time for Complexity, including that free AK-47 in the hands of Hulzerk. And Elige to find first blood. Phelps could just try to push through, but his teammates dying all around him, so his chances limited. He will find a door towards CT spawn, but bombs down back towards A main.
Taking this pressure right now for Complexity.
And as Phelps emerges through smoke, Floppy's going to blast them away. Complexity to the double digits. Complexity with a high hope in Shanghai.
I love those protocols. I mean, you see that they were spamming these smokes on these timings, not letting Imperial take the site, simply get a plant. They were putting pressure down the entire time, forcing Imperial to jump through the smokes to get their kills, which they could afford. Once that happened, it was already over. So many had gotten shaved off. Counter-terrorists win. Floppy with another no-looker.
Pistols allowed to emerge, and yet that line so clearly drawn in the sand. Elige and Hulzerk not going to allow anybody any further exit in mid. Elige comes back with a deagle to dish out the death. Complexity converts for 11.
Okay, relax, Elige. He's just playing around. I mean, this is a stomping right now. It's a stomping.
Oh.
Wow.
Imperial. It's another gun round, but it's certainly a tempo that continues to be set by Complexity. They simply can't keep up with. Cole undoubtedly have shaken off the result of yesterday. 2 losses on Anubis that certainly shook them to their core, but have not held them back in the face of their regional opposition here today. Day 2 of the opening stage, a far better Complexity. Round 12 on the line as JT picks up a kill towards B. There's the peek they wanted into Donut. Descenti, no trade as the bomb goes down to the dirt. And this is a comfortable double up in Donut for Complexity.
What is that swing really, right? No way to get the trade. There's 2 players on the CT side holding the same line, watching for it.
Trying to bait them to peek the Descenti. There will be his opening, but the close comes right with it. And it is 7 map and match points for Imperial to face elimination.
This one's not close in so many ways. Complexity couldn't ask for anything better from them. They're getting the opening kills. They're playing together to trade. They're watching for lurks. the head-to-heads are all in their favor. It's gonna be your last round, Imperial, at the Major.
They have to limp into it with measly pistols here on 2. Complexity doing what Imperial had hoped to reverse the tone set by day 1. Unfortunately for them, it is not the case. Their run through the RMR put under question, blessed by the qualification. JT peeks deep into the temple. Maybe this fight's not done yet, but Grim's got other ideas. Just when Imperial thought they had a hope, Grim goes deep with a near quad kill. A single bullet more would have pushed Try over the edge. Instead, he's given a chance to plant. Instead, Imperial, a 1 opportunity in the post plant. Temple ejection, ramp player cleared, and poor Try, working with 7 HP, sits inside of the temple. Imperial, who played a key role in giving the Americas regions so many more slots in Shanghai, has been cannibalized by their region here at this major. Losses to Pain, Furia, and eliminated by Complexity.
Yeah, no shame losing to a Complexity like this. That is a big win for this team, who had a rough first day, but unfortunately for the opponents on the other side, they never woke up from that bad dream. 2 bad days straight. Imperial with pretty much their worst major so far since their inception, and you could actually see it coming before it started. You know, for Complexity, it could have been disappointing. Of course, if they went out in this way. For Imperial, unfortunately, it was more par for the course. So there's definitely questions for them as to why they can't make this lineup work at all. But at least there's still the hope for the team that just beat them, that they can make the run they were supposed to.